Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Yesterday the new Nirai Kanai mission came out. Thankfully I got the clear the first day, so we'll have a look at the character here. And let's look at the stats first. HP is very high, it's almost tank level stats. Anything where it's 24,000 or above I consider a tank status. And then attack is also pretty crazy. That's about 24. That's even before the gauge. So he can do good damage in any element, not just green or red. And then speed is pretty solid for a balanced bounce type. So yeah, very good stats all around, very appropriate for a Colossal monster. And then we'll look at his abilities. He's got Minesweeper and Null Gravity Barrier. And this is one of the most versatile null combinations. You can kind of think of him as like a super buff Queen Butterfly. And yeah, if you think about all the different missions that Queen Butterfly can go to, Nirai Kanai can go to those too, and do a better job even. And then his strike shot is pretty crazy. It's like a speed and power up, but the first character that he touches, he picks up the Slayer for whatever that class that character is. So if he hits like a deity type, he'll gain a deity slayer and then get an additional 1.5 times the damage. So yeah, in pretty much every situation, this strike shot is going to do good damage against your main target. And then for the bump combos, he has a new bump combo, Energy Burst 4. I know the icon there has it as like a cross, but really it's an X for Nirai Kanai. 4 little explosions go out, and then they, do damage to the guys in there. And then we'll see in the video, but it has kind of a very specific range, and it doesn't have a very big blast radius. So it can be difficult to aim, but it does do a lot of damage. We can see right there, 57,000. And that's plenty against little guys as well, that don't get multipliers as often. And then, based on where the game is and where the game is going, where there's going to be lots more little guys kind of filling the screen. With all of those targets around you, their energy burst is going to hit more guys. So this is a pretty good bump combo for the current metagame. Kind of the opposite of that is his sub-bump combo, the Plasma. This is a bump combo that's better for when there are fewer targets on the screen. So if you have like a boss just sitting in the middle of the screen by itself, you can get a lot of plasma hits in there. With lots of little guys though, the plasma won't be as useful. But actually if you think of these two bump combos in conjunction with each other, the main bump combo, the energy burst, can be good for clearing a field. And then the plasma can be good to do concentrated damage on the guy that's left over. So actually his bump combo set is pretty great. And then to think about which quests he would be good for a whole bunch. He can go to Izanami, he can go to Tsukuyomi. I guess you could take him to Yamato Takeru. He wouldn't get the element advantage, but he's got the null gravity barrier and then the Slayer strike shot. You could also take him to, let's see what a game with says. You could also take him to Akala, of course. He has both the Minesweeper and the null gravity barrier, so that's perfect. Izanami 0, the upcoming Yamato Takeru 0, the upcoming Nirvana, and Karuma. So yeah, lots and lots of impossible missions. Again, if we think about Queen Butterfly and all the places that she is good for, Nirai Kanai would be good there as well. And yeah, would it be worth making a max luck of this guy? The answer to that is 100% yes. But this guy is tough. He is a colossal mission. So if you do plan on making him, just little by little, maybe expect it to take a year or more. That's about the average rate that JP players made the max luck of Nirai Kanai. So. Alrighty, I think that's enough talking about him, so let's go ahead and take him to a quest. And then let's take him to Bastet, It's not a very difficult mission, but could be a good one to show off Nirai Kanai. The main gimmick here is gravity barriers, and then there are some mines on the last level, so we can look at that there. And there are a lot of scorpions on this mission as well, so that's why I'm bringing Ryubi Ascension. He's got that short spread and then the homing. But yeah, Bastet itself is a pretty darn good character to make a max luck of, if you haven't yet. For kind of beginning players, maybe I can recommend the Evolution. She's got null damage wall and then a Sprite Slayer. There are a lot of balanced null damage wall characters out there though, so that's why I recommend the Ascension version. She's one of the few extreme drop monsters with Minesweeper. And yeah, she's not too difficult to play, to make a max luck. And then pretty soon, I think, in the next update that we're going to get in a less than a week, she will pick up the ability to have an Ableberry. So it could be worth making the double max luck of her. Okay, so where the Nirai Kanais are now, they're in better position to take advantage of their plasma than their energy burst. So let's have a look at that here. Yeah, pretty good. Because the plasma is a sub-bump combo, it does less damage than full power. So Nirai Kanai's plasma is not as strong as Kushinada's, but still pretty good damage, as we're saying. Okay, here we're seeing scorpions for the first time on this mission. And then Nirai Kanai's energy burst is not that great against scorpions. But if we get it right, the plasma could actually get quite a few hits on the scorpions. So we'll try to do that. Okay, so good damage against that Smydra with the energy burst. But yeah, if you've been keeping an eye on it, we see that actually the hit area for each of the 4 blasts is not that big. So with Nirai Kanai, I would say that as far as positioning, just getting him as close to the target as possible is best. That's easier to do against bosses, however, because bosses are nice, big targets. If we can get the energy burst in the weak point, though, that is big damage. And yeah, that's the thing that I often say about extreme drop monsters, is that they just don't do a lot of damage. But impossible monsters, and then to a greater extent the colossal monsters, they do pretty good damage. Okay, here we go. One of the probably the toughest thing about Bastet's quest is getting the speed clear. You need a lot of guys with good kind of scorpion or anti-scorpion moves. So that's kind of a fun challenge. The Bastet quest itself is not very difficult, but you can try to push yourself and try to get the speed clear. Okay, lots of damage against these turtles. Maybe not very impressive, but still. And then Nirai Kanai's gauge is faster, which is you know, kind of in keeping with most of the impossible monsters. But it's not crazy fast, like a Recovery S gauge. Okay, first boss stage. We will want to get rid of the boss, and then the zombies first, and then we'll save the scorpions for last. Let's see how this energy burst does. Whoa! So that was pretty great. The bottom Nirai Kanai, his energy burst got into the weak point of Bastet, so we saw how much damage that did. Okay, pretty good. Oh, and I forgot to say that Nirai Kanai is good for a few floors of the Tower of Champions. Maybe most importantly for floor 31 of the tower. He's got really high stats, and then he's got that strike shot that you can use to pick up a Mech Slayer. So that can be really good on the like the last stage in particular, where you need to do lots and lots of damage. And then the energy burst doesn't hurt either. But yeah, if you're interested in trying for a free party clear of floor 31 of the tower, then I could highly recommend Nirai Kanai. I'm actually eagerly awaiting the next time the Tower of Champions comes out again, just because we've gotten so many new monsters since then. And there are a few floors that I haven't done the free party run yet, like floors 33, 21, 24, I think. Alright, we'll see a clear shot at the weak point, so we'll just go for that. Yeah, I got my eye on the speed clear counter there. I still got 2 more levels to go after this one, however, so I don't know if we're going to make it. Alright, pretty good. Alright, this is the third boss stage, and then there will be damage walls. If the 2 ninjas are out, they'll shoot out 2 damage walls, and then there's a chance that they'll make an L shape, which is very difficult to avoid. So within the first 2 turns, if we can get rid of one of the ninjas, that would be very good. We'll try that here, and okay, looks like we got him somehow, despite the irregular bound. This might have been a good place to use Nirai Kanai's strike shot, but I thought I would save them for the last stage, so that's what we'll do there. Okay, more decent damage against the boss with energy burst. Again, because the bosses are nice big targets, so. Okay, and then the last few turns we'll just focus on hitting Ryubi, since he's got all those homing shots for the Scorpion. Okay. Okay, last boss stage. And then this one has the mine robots. So if they throw out any mines, then I can use Nirai Kanai to pick them up. Alright, we'll go ahead and use Uriel's strike shot. Unfortunately, Nirai Kanai has no gravity barrier on the gauge. So if he's hit with the command strike shot and he goes into a gravity barrier, he will slow down. So that's too bad. Alrighty, so let's use Nirai Kanai strike shot here. He gets a kind of a new effect, and then he picks up the Slayer for the first character he hits. Bastet is a deity, so he picks up Deity Slayer. And then, yeah, even without the weak point, he gets 1,000,000 damage into the boss, so that's pretty great. Let's use it one more time here, and that will do it for the boss. Alrighty, well, no speed clear, but I didn't really have the best team set up for it, so whatever. Yeah, and that blue plasma looks pretty cool. Alright, so that was my little review of Nirai Kanai. One of the very best drop monsters in the game. And yeah, you can think of her as a super buff Queen Butterfly. Okay, hope you have yours, hope you're enjoying it. If you don't have him yet, hope you get him soon. Alright, thanks for watching, take care.